Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines. While the digital asset market is moving, XRP is up 22.7%. Say what? We got that and so much more. You know what? And then we have a court case that says Gary Gensler's right and digital assets are securities in the secondary market. What do you make of that? Somebody roll that beautiful intro so we can find out.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube for exclusive content. Right now, $2.54 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is up 3.4%. Again, I remind everybody, remember, the SEC came in, boots on the ground, smashed the market from $3+ trillion down to below $1 trillion. And then we crept up and held at about $1 trillion. Now we're at $2.54 trillion, slowly creeping back in the crypto market cap to the all-time high of $3+ trillion. So we're not far away from it here. Keep your eyes on what's happening. 65,400 plus for Bitcoin. It's up 27.8% on the 7-day. 3,500 plus for Ethereum. It's up 14.5 on the 7-day. It crossed $100 billion market cap, now at 99.9 billion plus is Tether right now. And XRP at the number 6 spot, 65 cents, and it's up 4.6 on the 24 and up 23.2% now. Oh my goodness, 23, I'm writing this down, 23.2% on the 7-day. Yeah, Mufasa, moving. And we went from 61 to 66 cents plus, and we're at 65 right now. We'll keep an eye on it. XRP is talking. We need to pay attention. And guess what else we need to pay attention to? It's 59 days until XRP Las Vegas, ladies and gentlemen. And look, let me just highlight something here, because we're going to be doing this. I want to highlight something here. First of all, Perry M. Boring and the Chamber of Digital Commerce have been crushing it out here in the work they've been doing, stopping Elizabeth Warren and a lot of the other misinformation that is out here and getting it right on Capitol Hill so people don't gut crypto as it exists today. The Honorable Christian Carlo, who we are going to have an incredible fireside chat with, by the way. And we are going to talk about not only the digital dollar project, but we're going to talk about the impending geopolitical movements that are taking place currently around the world, like BRICS Coalition, Project Sandman, the de-dollarization of the U.S. dollar, and how important it is that the U.S. dollar remain dominant as we move into the new digital age. And I agree with that as an American patriot. David Schwartz is CTO of Ripple. Fireside chat here. You're going to want to see this. I tell you, this is going to be great. And this is going to be about the ever-expanding new features coming to the XRP ledger. And David Schwartz talking about all the things that he's excited about among those new features. I cannot wait to learn what I can from him. He is so brilliant. There's no question. Simon McLaughlin, CEO of Uphold, will be there. We're going to be talking about white labeling for the banks, the recent Ripple Uphold partnership, and so much more. Cannot wait to speak to him. And Kevin Maloney. You want to understand what's going on, boots on the ground, the Bitcoin spot ETFs? Maybe Kevin might have an opinion about if we're going to get more crypto ETFs in this space, and will they be coming to IRAs? And what's going on in the IRA world for I Trust Capital? Might they be having a public exit soon? I don't know, but these are all great conversations we're going to have at XRP Las Vegas and so much more. Make sure you get your ticket. And I want to tell you, there's a link underneath this video right now for the XRP Las Vegas merch store. And look at the killer merch right here. Get your shirt, get your hoodie, get your hat, whatever you prefer right here. This store is not going to be open forever, so make sure you get your order in. We're taking orders till April 2nd, I believe. So now's the time to get your gear so you can sport it at XRP Las Vegas. Now let's start right here. The newly listed BlackRock iShares Bitcoin ETF trading under the ticket symbol IBIT has overtaken, listen to this, has overtaken the iShares Silver Trust, reaching $10 billion in assets under management. Are you hearing this? How fast this is growing? Here's the current situation on Cash App right now. Shout out to Chad for this. We currently have no Bitcoin available for sale. Now you got to remember, we got a halving coming up too now, right? And to speak to that, here is Abs from Good Morning Crypto Show. I hope you had a chance to check out our recent episode. Right now, over 10,000 Bitcoin are purchased daily with over 900 coins being produced. That's an 11x demand versus supply ratio. But come late April, daily production is reduced to 450 Bitcoin a day, creating an astonishing 22 times demand versus supply. Brace yourself for supply shock of a lifetime. Yeah, it really does feel like we're preparing for liftoff. None of us can know for sure. It's not financial advice. But I tell you, the stage is set, and it looks like we could see some real fireworks. Now, the largest stablecoin, as I said in the opener of this video, USD Tether, has crossed 100 billion, slightly back under right now, but we saw it cross. And again, I remind everybody, they are partnered by their own admission. They are partnered with the Secret Service and the FBI. The Secret Service was an agency started not to protect presidents and officials, but it was started to stop counterfeiters of the US dollar. And now they're partnered with USD Tether. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that a fun little fact? It is a fun little fact, isn't it? Yeah. Let me tell you another fun little fact I'd like to share right now. Is that 99% of all transactions in the digital asset space are done in some form of a digital dollar. So once we have actual legislation for prudential regulation of those digital issuers of stablecoins, we are the leader in this space. Write that down. Senators in the U.S. introduced a bill to halt Biden's CBDC agenda. I like it. You like it. We don't want to see CBDCs issued directly from the government or the Fed, which is not the government, right? Because that's too much power. And it wouldn't take anyone very long to figure out how long would it take for them to tie a social credit score to your digital dollar and your digital wallet. And the next thing you know, you just will have an accent and live in China. Sorry, but that dog don't hunt here. Their people might go for it, but we don't, right? We're barely hanging on to freedom in this country. I suggest that we continue to hold on tightly. Meanwhile, Montana recognizes what's going on around here. They supported by 7 other states affirming that crypto assets are not automatically securities and that the SEC's expansive concepts of investment contracts might preempt state legislation. Oh boy. State legislatures going against the federal market regulator. Great job, Gary. But then we have more real issues here. But is it an issue? We're going to find out. In a landmark decision, a U.S. court has determined that the trading of certain cryptocurrency assets on secondary markets, including platforms such as Coinbase, are securities transactions. Oh boy. If you remember, this actually goes back to a case here. It was 2 brothers, the Wahi brothers. And remember, one of the brothers was in the industry and the other was out. And he was doing trading based on his brother with inside knowledge. And it was found to be a securities issue, right? And in a landmark decision, this is what we see. The ruling issued by District Court of Western District of Washington pertained to an insider trading case involving former Coinbase product manager Ihsan Wahi, his brother Nikhil Wahi, and their associate Samir Rahmani. Remember this? It was starting to come back to me as it came through here. And essentially, the defendants allegedly traded on advanced knowledge of which crypto assets would be listed on the exchange. The case brought to light by the Securities Exchange Commission, SEC, marking the intersection of traditional securities law and emerging digital asset space. Now, you have to understand some of these particulars here to really get an idea of whether this helps Gary Gensler and his agenda or not, and we do not want it to. and looking at this, the case was brought to light by the SEC, making intersections of traditional securities law. But then it goes on to say here, if you remember, Romani faced a default judgment for failing to respond to the court summons. He never showed up. And in fact, he fled the country to avoid criminal prosecution from actions alleged in the case. So that's how the settlement was reached. So it's important to understand that, right? So it says here in July 2022, in the unprecedented case dubbing the first ever cryptocurrency insider trading tipping scheme. Well, I don't think they looked at Ethereum very much, did they? Today's charges and ETHgate, I don't think that today's charges are further reminder that Web3 is not a law-free zone. But if we go on to look at this, let's hear what was shared here by Fred Rispoli, and shout out to Freddie. It's not great, but this was an order entered as a default judgment against a defendant that fled the country before the SEC could get him. Judge just copied the SEC's motion for her order as there was no opposition. Not very strong law, and probably won't even be a reported decision. So, okay, so I love having this because this gives me... This makes me feel a little better. Doesn't it make you feel a little better? It makes me feel a little better. That inside of the legal system, getting a default judgment like this doesn't really fall under having strong precedent, right? So, but we also have to remember that Gary Gensler's not someone with a lot of integrity. So he will absolutely try to 10x this decision to his favor. No question. But you know what? Let's take a look at where we're at right now. I'm no TA guy. There's a lot out here, and we appreciate each and every one of them. But take a look at that. XRP to Tether chart. Now, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to see what could possibly take place here. But, as we remember, price can go up, price can go down, and price can continue to move sideways. That's the choices, right? Now, this chart looks extremely bullish, right? But we're going to have to watch and see it play out. But with that being said, my goodness, we don't have to watch much longer to see it play out, now do we? And here's another one that looks very similar. There you go right here. That's where we're at. I don't know where this goes. I'm just glad that I got my bags filled while I'm watching it. And I hope that you do too. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. We're going into the Freedom Zone, and I hope you will join us. Oh, you're going to want to come inside the Freedom Zone. We've talked about it before, but we've got more information. Who runs the world? Who really runs the world? Well, come on into the Freedom Zone. Digperspectives.com. Click that Freedom Zone button and come on in. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. We're about to find out. All